The discovery of Project Phoenix, the mysterious signal Captain Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the Stellar Wanderer, watching the stars drift past through the main viewport. The ship had been traveling through unexplored space for 3 months, mapping new systems and searching for habitable worlds. Elena was a seasoned explorer, having spent 15 years in deep space after her military service ended. Her weathered hands gripped the command rail as she studied the navigation displays. "Captain, we're receiving something unusual, Lieutenant." Sarah Kim called out from the communications station. Sarah was young but skilled, having graduated top of her class from the academy. Her fingers moved quickly across the holographic interface as she tried to decode the signal. Elena walked over to Sarah's station. "What kind of signal?" "It's encrypted, but the mathematical patterns look familiar. Almost like it's using an old human coding system, but more advanced than anything we currently use." Sarah's brow furrowed as she worked. "Captain, this is coming from a system that's not supposed to have any inhabited planets." Dr. Marcus Chun looked up from his research console. Marcus was a brilliant scientist who specialized in studying ancient civilizations and lost technologies. He had joined the mission hoping to discover new alien artifacts, but this signal was something different entirely. "May I examine the signal pattern?" Marcus asked, moving to stand beside Sarah. Elena nodded. "Put it on the main screen." The forward display showed a complex series of mathematical equations and symbols. Most of it appeared to be random noise, but hidden within the chaos were recognizable patterns. Marcus studied the data carefully, his eyes widening with each passing moment. "This is incredible," Marcus whispered. "The encryption method is definitely human in origin, but it's far more sophisticated than anything we've developed. Captain, whoever sent this signal had access to technology we don't possess." Commander Rex Thompson, the ship's security chief, crossed his arms skeptically. Rex was a practical man who had served in the Colonial Defense Force for 20 years. He trusted facts more than theories, and this situation made him nervous. "Could be a trap," Rex said bluntly. "The Centauri Collective has been known to mimic human technology to lure our ships into ambushes." Elena considered this possibility. The Centauri were one of several alien species that barely tolerated human expansion into space. They had never been openly hostile, but they made it clear that humans were considered a minor species, barely worth their attention. "Arya, what's your analysis?" Elena asked the ship's artificial intelligence. Arya's calm voice filled the bridge. "The signal originates from the Kepler 442 system, which our long-range surveys indicated was lifeless. However, the mathematical complexity suggests either a highly advanced human source or an alien intelligence attempting to mimic human patterns with remarkable accuracy." Sarah had been working on the signal's coordinates. "Captain, the source is on the 3rd planet of the system. It's a dead world with no atmosphere, but something down there is definitely transmitting." Elena made her decision. "Set course for Kepler 442. We're going to investigate." The journey to the Kepler 442 system took 4 days. During that time, Marcus worked tirelessly to decode more of the signal. What he discovered sent shockwaves through the crew. Ancient human ruins, the Stellar Wanderer, dropped out of hyperspace. At the edge of the Kepler 442 system, the 3rd planet appeared as a brown, lifeless sphere hanging in the void. Its surface was scarred by ancient impact craters, and no signs of vegetation or water could be detected. "Launching survey drones," Sarah reported. "Initial scans show no atmosphere, but there are definitely artificial structures on the surface." The main screen displayed images from the drones as they descended toward the planet. What they revealed made everyone on the bridge gasp in amazement. Carved into the side of a massive canyon were structures that were unmistakably human in design. The architecture was more advanced than anything currently built by human civilization. but the proportions and aesthetic were clearly intended for human occupants. My God, Marcus breathed. Those buildings are thousands of years old, but they're human. How is that possible? Alina stared at the images in disbelief. According to all historical records, humans had only achieved interstellar travel within the last 2 centuries. Before that, they had been confined to Earth and the solar system. Yet here was evidence of an ancient human civilization that had somehow reached this distant world. Arya, compare the architectural style to known human designs, Elena ordered. Structures show design elements consistent with human engineering principles, but they incorporate technologies not present in any known human civilization. The power source appears to be some form of zero-point energy generator. Rex studied the tactical implications. Captain, if there's advanced technology down there, we need to secure it before anyone else finds it. This could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Elena nodded grimly. Prepare an away team. Marcus, Sarah, and Rex, you're with me. We're going down to investigate. The shuttle landed near the largest structure, a massive complex built directly into the canyon wall. The team wore environmental suits to protect them from the airless environment. As they approached the entrance, hidden sensors activated, and the massive doors slid open with a soft hiss. The facility still has power, Marcus observed, checking his readings. After all these centuries, it's still operational. The interior was a marvel of engineering. Corridors lined with strange crystalline panels led deeper into the complex. The walls were covered with writing in several human languages, including some that looked ancient, but were still recognizable. This text is in Old English, Latin, and several other historical languages, Sarah said, scanning the walls with her translator. But some of these symbols are completely unknown. They followed the main corridor until they reached a vast chamber, filled with advanced computer systems. The technology was clearly human in origin, but far beyond anything that existed in the current era. Holographic displays showed star charts, technical schematics, and historical records. Marcus approached one of the active terminals. I'm going to try to access the database. The moment his fingers touched the interface, the entire facility came alive. Lights blazed throughout the complex, and a powerful artificial intelligence activated. Welcome, descendants of humanity. A calm voice spoke in perfect English. I am Prometheus, guardian of this facility. I have been waiting for you to return. The shocking truth, the team stood frozen in amazement as Prometheus continued speaking. The AI's voice was warm and distinctly human, unlike the cold mechanical tones they were used to from ship computers. You are surprised to find us here, Prometheus observed. That is understandable. The truth of your history has been hidden from you. Elena found her voice first. What truth? Who built this place? This facility was constructed by the first human empire, your ancestors who ruled much of this galaxy over 3,000 years ago. You are not the first generation of humans to reach for the stars. You are the survivors of a great catastrophe. The main display activated, showing holographic images of magnificent human cities floating in space, vast fleets of advanced starships, and worlds transformed into gardens. The scale of the civilization was breathtaking. The first empire was the most technologically advanced civilization the galaxy had ever seen, Prometheus explained. Humans had unlocked the secrets of space-time manipulation, consciousness transfer, and reality engineering. They were feared and respected by every alien species. Marcus was recording everything, his hands shaking with excitement. What happened to them? Why don't we remember any of this? A holographic display changed, showing images of war. Human ships fighting against massive alien fleets, colonies burning, and great cities falling from orbit. The alien species of this galaxy formed a secret alliance against humanity. They called themselves the Preservation Coalition, claiming they were protecting the galaxy from human expansion. In reality, they were terrified of human potential. Rex leaned forward, his military training focusing on the tactical aspects. They tried to wipe us out. They succeeded, mostly, Prometheus confirmed sadly. The war lasted for centuries. Billions of humans died. Entire star systems were sterilized. The Coalition was determined to reduce humanity to a primitive state, confined to a single world. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. Earth. Yes, the survivors were driven back to your homeworld, and their memories were altered. Advanced technology was destroyed, and historical records were erased. The Coalition wanted to ensure that humanity would never again threaten their dominance. Sarah was studying the technical displays. But you survived. This place exists. Few facilities like this one were hidden throughout the galaxy. We were built to wait for the day when humanity would rediscover space travel and begin expanding again. That day has come. The implications were staggering. Everything humans thought they knew about their history was wrong. They weren't a young species taking their first steps into space. They were the scattered remnants of a great civilization, climbing back toward their former glory. The Coalition still exists, Prometheus continued. They monitor human expansion carefully, ensuring that you never become too powerful. But they have made one mistake. What mistake? Elena asked. They allowed you to rediscover technology gradually, thinking they could control your development. But human ingenuity cannot be suppressed forever. You have begun to ask the right questions, and now you have found us. Marcus was overwhelmed by the historical significance. What else is hidden here? The complete archives of the First Empire, technologies that could revolutionize human civilization, and most importantly, the location of Project Phoenix. Rex's tactical instincts kicked in. What's Project Phoenix? The main display showed the image of a massive spacecraft, easily the size of a small moon. Its design was elegant and deadly, bristling with weapons that seemed to bend light around. The Phoenix was the most advanced warship ever built by humanity. It was designed to be a last resort, a weapon so powerful that it could challenge the entire Coalition fleet. But the Empire fell before it could be deployed. Elena stared at the image in awe. Where is it? Hidden in a pocket dimension, waiting for the right moment to return. The Phoenix contains technology that could restore humanity to its rightful place in the galaxy. But awakening it is dangerous. The Coalition has been watching for any sign of ancient human technology. The weight of the decision settled on Elena's shoulders. They had stumbled upon the greatest discovery in human history, but using it would paint a target on all of humanity. Show us, she said finally. The Phoenix revelation Prometheus use led them deeper into the facility, through corridors lined with advanced manufacturing equipment and research laboratories. The level of technology was beyond anything Elena had seen, making even the most advanced human spacecraft look primitive by comparison. The Phoenix was built using principles that your current science doesn't understand, Prometheus explained as they walked. It exists partially outside normal spacetime, which is why it has remained hidden for so long. They entered a circular chamber dominated by a massive crystalline structure. Energy patterns flowed through the crystal like liquid light, pulsing with a rhythm that seemed almost alive. This is the Phoenix Gateway, Prometheus announced. Through this device, you can communicate with the Phoenix, and if you prove worthy, summon it to our reality. Marcus approached the gateway with scientific curiosity. The energy patterns are unlike anything in our physics textbooks. How does it work? The Phoenix exists in a state of quantum superposition, neither fully real nor completely imaginary. It responds to consciousness rather than mechanical commands. To awaken it, someone must link their mind with the ship's consciousness. Sarah looked concerned. Is that safe? The process is not without risk. The Phoenix was designed to bond with individuals who possessed the mental strength to handle its power. If someone lacking sufficient willpower attempts the connection, the results could be catastrophic. Elena studied her team. They were all capable people, but this was beyond anything they had trained for. What happens if we succeed? The Phoenix will return to normal space, fully operational and ready to defend humanity. But the moment it appears, every species in the galaxy will know that humanity has rediscovered its ancient power. The Coalition will stop at nothing to destroy it. Rex was analyzing the tactical situation. How powerful is this ship? The Phoenix can single-handedly defeat a fleet of 1,000 conventional warships. Its reality-warping weapons can rewrite the laws of physics in localized areas. Its shields exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, and its consciousness is more advanced than any artificial intelligence ever created. The implications were staggering. With the Phoenix, humanity could defend itself against any threat, but it would also make them the target of every alien species that feared human expansion. There's more, Prometheus continued. The Phoenix is not just a weapon, it's a key. There are dozens of hidden facilities throughout the galaxy, each containing technology and resources that could restore human civilization. The Phoenix can activate them all. Elena felt the weight of history pressing down on her. This wasn't just about their small exploration crew anymore. This was about the future of the entire human species. The choice is yours, Captain, Prometheus said gently. You can leave this place, return to your ship, and continue your peaceful exploration. Or you can take the first step toward reclaiming humanity's birthright. Elena looked at her team. Marcus was fascinated by the scientific possibilities. Sarah was eager to unlock the secrets of their past. Rex was calculating the military advantages. But the decision ultimately rested with her. Asterisk, what do you think? She asked them. We have a responsibility, Marcus said quietly. If this is true, if humanity was once great and was deliberately reduced to what we are now, then we owe it to our species to restore what was lost. Sarah nodded. Every human deserves to know the truth about their heritage. Rex was more practical. Captain, we're talking about technology that could end human dependence on the goodwill of alien species. We could defend ourselves properly for the first time in centuries. Elena made her decision. Prometheus, begin the awakening sequence. The Galactic Conspiracy. As Prometheus began initializing the Phoenix Gateway, the facility's sensors detected something alarming. Warning lights flashed throughout the complex, and the AI's voice took on an urgent tone. Captain, we have a problem. Coalition monitoring stations have detected the facility's activation. A fleet is approaching this system. Alana's blood ran cold. How long do we have? Approximately 6 hours before they arrive. The fleet consists of ships from multiple species, including Zentari battlecruisers and Vorthit destroyers. They're moving faster than expected. Rex immediately shifted into tactical mode. Our ship can't outrun a Coalition fleet. We need to complete the awakening process before they arrive. The Phoenix awakening cannot be rushed, Prometheus warned. The process requires careful calibration. If we proceed too quickly, we risk damaging the ship's consciousness permanently. Marcus was studying the gateway's energy patterns. There might be a way to speed things up. If I can establish a preliminary connection with the Phoenix, we might be able to accelerate the process. Marcus, no, Elena said firmly. Prometheus just told us how dangerous the mental connection is. Captain, we don't have a choice. If the Coalition fleet arrives before the Phoenix is active, they'll destroy this facility and everything in it. Humanity will lose its chance to reclaim its heritage. Sarah was monitoring the approaching fleet. They're not sending a negotiation team. These are assault ships designed for planetary bombardment. The reality of the situation hit Elena like a physical blow. The Coalition wasn't planning to capture them or demand surrender. They were coming to eliminate any trace of ancient human technology. They've done this before, Prometheus confirmed grimly. Every time humans have discovered evidence of their true history, the Coalition has moved to suppress it. They've been fighting the same war for 3,000 years. Elena realized they were out of options. Marcus, what do you need to establish the connection? I'll need to place my hands on the gateway crystal and open my mind to the Phoenix consciousness. The AI will guide me through the process, but once I make contact, I won't be able to disconnect until the awakening is complete, Prometheus provided. Additional details. Dr. Chun, you must understand that connecting with the Phoenix will change you permanently. The ship's consciousness is vast and ancient. Your mind will be expanded to accommodate the connection, but you will never be quite the same. Marcus nodded grimly. I understand the risks, but if we don't try, humanity will remain in chains forever. Elena watched as Marcus approached the gateway. The crystal began to glow brighter as he neared it, responding to his presence. Energy. Patterns swirled faster, and the air in the chamber began to hum with power. Beginning the connection, Marcus said, placing his hands on the crystal surface dot. The moment his skin touched the crystal, Marcus's eyes rolled back, and his body went rigid. Energy coursed through him, and his voice changed as he spoke. I can feel it, he whispered. The Phoenix is ancient beyond measure. It's been waiting, dreaming of the day when humanity would call upon it again. The gateway's energy output increased dramatically, and holographic displays throughout the facility began showing the Phoenix's status. The massive ship was beginning to phase back into normal reality. The process is working, Prometheus reported. Phoenix systems are coming online, but the Coalition fleet is accelerating. They know what we're doing. Elena opened a communication channel to the Stellar Wanderer. Area, begin emergency evacuation procedures. Prepare to receive the away team. Captain, I'm detecting massive energy readings from the planet's surface. Something extraordinary is happening down there. Through the facility's sensors, Elena could see the Coalition fleet approaching like a dark cloud. Dozens of alien warships bristling with weapons, all focused on their small location. They're going to bombard the entire facility, Rex observed. Even if we complete the awakening, we might not survive long enough to see the Phoenix. Marcus's connection with the Phoenix was deepening. His consciousness was expanding, touching something vast and powerful that had been sleeping for millennia. Through the link, he could feel the ship's eagerness to return, to fulfill its ancient purpose. The Phoenix is almost ready, he reported, his voice now carrying harmonics that didn't sound entirely human. But Captain, there's something else. The Phoenix has been monitoring the galaxy during its exile. It knows where the other human facilities are hidden. Elena felt a spark of hope. How many? 47 installations across the galaxy. Weapons caches, automated shipyards, research stations. Everything humanity would need to rebuild its civilization. The Coalition fleet was now only 2 hours away. On the main display, Elena could see the largest ship in the formation, a massive Zentari command vessel that could reduce an entire planet to molten rock. Marcus, can you hurry the process? She asked. The Phoenix is trying to accelerate, but it's been dormant for so long. Its systems need time to fully integrate with normal spacetime. Prometheus interrupted with another warning. Captain, I'm detecting weapon signatures. The Coalition fleet is preparing to fire on the facility from extreme range. They're not taking any chances. Elena made a desperate decision. All hands evacuate to the Stellar Wanderer immediately. We'll monitor the Phoenix awakening from orbit. Captain, I can't disconnect from the gateway, Marcus said. The process is too delicate. If I break the connection now, the Phoenix will be lost forever. Elena looked at her friend, knowing she was asking him to make the ultimate sacrifice. "Marcus, are you sure about this?" "The Phoenix needs me to complete the awakening." "Go, Captain. Save the crew." "I'll see this through." With heavy hearts, Elena, Sarah, and Rex evacuated the facility. As their shuttle lifted off, they could see the Coalition fleet beginning its bombardment. Energy beams lanced down from space, striking the planet's surface with devastating force. The choice back aboard the Stellar Wanderer. Elena watched helplessly as the Coalition fleet systematically destroyed the ancient facility. Explosion after explosion rocked the planet's surface as alien weapons tried to eliminate any trace of human technology. "Arya, can you detect any sign of Marcus or the Phoenix?" Elena asked. "I'm reading massive energy fluctuations from the facilities." Location: something is happening beneath the bombardment. Sarah was monitoring communication channels. "Captain, the Coalition fleet is broadcasting a message." The main screen showed the image of a Centauri admiral, his blue skin marked with the scars of many battles. When he spoke, his voice carried the weight of absolute authority. "Human vessel, you have violated the fundamental laws of galactic security. You will surrender immediately and submit to Coalition custody. Any attempt to resist will result in your destruction." Elena opened a response channel. "This is Captain Elena Vasquez of the Earthship Stellar Wanderer. We are conducting lawful exploration in unclaimed space. You have no authority here." The Centauri Admiral's expression didn't change. "The technology you have discovered poses a threat to galactic stability. It must be contained or destroyed. You have 60 seconds to comply." Elena cut the communication. "Arya, status report." The Coalition fleet consists of 47 vessels, including 12 heavy cruisers and a planetary bombardment ship. "We are significantly outgunned." Rex was analyzing tactical options. "Captain, we can't fight them, but we might be able to run. If we jump to hyperspace immediately, we might escape." "What about Marcus?" Sarah asked. Elena stared at the burning planet below. Every instinct told her to save her crew, but abandoning Marcus felt like betraying everything they had discovered. Suddenly, the planet's surface erupted in a pillar of light that reached into space. The energy was so intense that it forced the Coalition fleet to retreat to a safer distance. "What the hell is that?" Rex demanded. Arya's sensors were going crazy. "I'm detecting a massive object materializing in the planet's atmosphere. It's the size of a small moon." Through the brilliant light, a shape began to emerge. The Phoenix was awakening, phasing back into normal reality after 3,000 years of exile. The ship was magnificent beyond description, its hull gleaming with an inner light that seemed to come from another dimension. "Marcus did it," Elena whispered. "He actually awakened the Phoenix." The ancient warship rose from the planet's surface, its mere presence causing space-time to ripple around it. The Coalition fleet opened fire immediately, but their weapons passed harmlessly through the Phoenix's shields. A new voice filled the bridge of the Stellar Wanderer. It was Marcus, but changed, carrying harmonics that spoke of connection to something vast and ancient. "Captain, this is the Phoenix. Dr. Chun is safe aboard the ship. The awakening is complete." Elena felt tears of relief streaming down her face. "Marcus, are you all right?" "I'm more than all right, Captain. I'm connected to the greatest achievement of human civilization. The Phoenix is ready to defend humanity." The massive ship turned toward the Coalition fleet, its weapon systems coming online for the first time in millennia. Reality-warping cannons emerged from its hull, crackling with energy that made the space around them shimmer. Coalition vessels. The Phoenix broadcast across all frequencies. "You have attacked humanity for the last time. Withdraw immediately or face the consequences." The Centauri Admiral's response was immediate. "All ships, concentrate fire on the human vessel. Use quantum." Torpedoes. The Coalition fleet unleashed everything they had. Energy beams, missiles, and exotic weapons struck the Phoenix from all directions. The ancient ship didn't even slow down. "Their weapons cannot harm us," Marcus reported. "The Phoenix exists, partially outside normal space-time. Their attacks are hitting shadows." Elena watched in awe as the Phoenix demonstrated its power. Reality-warping beams reached out from the ship, touching Coalition vessels and causing them to simply cease existing. Not destroyed, not vaporized, but erased from reality, as if they had never been there. Within minutes, the Coalition fleet was reduced to a handful of retreating ships. The Phoenix had single-handedly defeated a force that could have conquered entire star systems. "The galaxy will know what happened here," Elena said quietly. "They'll know that humanity has returned to power." "Yes," Marcus agreed. "And they'll know that we're no longer willing to accept their dominance. The age of human submission is over." As the Phoenix floated majestically in space, its mere presence seemed to herald a new chapter in galactic history. Humanity had rediscovered its true heritage, and with it, the power to shape its own destiny. The war for humanity's freedom was about to begin. The Phoenix Awakens activation protocol. The Phoenix hung in space like a celestial cathedral, its hull pulsing with energies that seemed to exist beyond normal physics. Captain Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the Stellar Wanderer, watching the massive ship with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The Coalition fleet had retreated, but she knew they would return with reinforcements. "Aria, establish a communication." "Link with the Phoenix," Elena ordered. "Connection established, Captain. Dr. Chon is requesting permission to bring you aboard." Elena looked around at her crew. Sarah was monitoring Coalition communications. Rex was analyzing tactical data, and everyone was waiting for her decision. "Marcus, what's the status of the Phoenix?" Marcus's voice came through the speakers, but it sounded different now. There was a depth to it, as if he was speaking from the bottom of an ocean. "Captain, the Phoenix is fully operational, but it needs a proper crew. The ship was designed to be operated by hundreds of specialists, not just one person. Can we transfer our crew to the Phoenix?" "The ship can accommodate your people, but there's something you need to understand. The Phoenix doesn't just need operators. It needs partners. The ship's consciousness is vast and ancient, and it prefers to work with humans who can establish a mental connection." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. "What kind of mental connection?" "Nothing as deep as what I experienced during the awakening. The Phoenix can establish surface-level links with compatible individuals, allowing them to operate its systems intuitively. But, Captain, not everyone is compatible." Sarah looked up from her communications console. "I'm detecting massive energy signatures throughout the galaxy. It's like someone just turned on 1,000 beacons." Marcus explained what was happening. The Phoenix's awakening has triggered activation protocols in other hidden facilities. Ancient human installations are coming online across the galaxy. Elena made her decision. "Prepare for docking. We're going aboard the Phoenix." The transfer to the ancient ship was unlike anything the crew had experienced. The Phoenix's docking bay was vast enough to hold a dozen ships the size of the Stellar Wanderer. The walls were covered with crystalline panels that pulsed with soft light, and the air itself seemed to hum with power. Marcus was waiting for them at the airlock. He looked the same physically, but his eyes held a depth that hadn't been there before. "Welcome aboard the Phoenix, Captain. The ship has been waiting to meet you." As they walked through the corridors, Elena marveled at the architecture. Everything was built to human proportions, but the materials and design were far beyond anything she had seen. The walls seemed to be made of living crystal, and holographic displays showed information in languages both ancient and modern. "The ship wants to test your compatibility," Marcus explained as they approached the bridge. It's not painful, but it will feel strange. The Phoenix's bridge was a marvel of engineering. Instead of traditional control stations, there were crystalline interfaces that responded to thought as much as touch. At the center of the bridge was a command chair surrounded by holographic displays showing the ship's status. "Captain, please take the command position," Marcus said. Elena approached the chair cautiously. The moment she sat down, she felt a gentle presence touching her mind. It was ancient and powerful, but also curious and almost playful. "Welcome, Captain Vasquez," a voice spoke directly into her mind. "I am the Phoenix. I have been waiting for humans to return to the stars." Elena tried to speak aloud, but found she could communicate directly with the ship through thought. "You're the ship's consciousness?" "I am what your people would call artificial intelligence, but I am more than that. I was created by the greatest minds of the first human empire, given not just intelligence, but also creativity, imagination, and the capacity to grow." Sarah, Rex, and the others were approaching their own interface stations. Elena watched as each of them experienced their first contact with the Phoenix consciousness. "This is incredible," Sarah whispered. "I can feel the ship's sensors as if they were my own senses. I can see for light years in every direction." Rex was examining the weapon systems. "Captain, the firepower on this ship is beyond anything I've studied. Some of these weapons, I don't even understand how they work." The Phoenix spoke to all of them simultaneously. "Your species has forgotten much, but you have not lost your potential. With training, you can learn to operate systems that your ancestors considered routine." Elena felt the ship's vast knowledge pressing against her mind. "Phoenix, what do you know about the current state of the galaxy?" "I have been monitoring galactic communications for 3,000 years. The Coalition has grown complacent, believing that humanity would never rediscover its true heritage. They control most of the major star systems, but their rule is not as stable as they believe." Marcus moved to his station, which seemed to be some kind of science and engineering interface. "Captain, the Phoenix has detailed information about every Coalition species, their technology, their weaknesses, their political structures." "Show me," Elena said. Neural interface. The Phoenix's main display activated, showing a three-dimensional map of the galaxy. Different colors represented various alien species and their territories. The human colonies were tiny dots scattered among vast alien empires. "The Coalition consists of 7 major species," the Phoenix explained. "The Zentari are the military leaders. The Vorthic control economic policy, and the Nexian Collective handles intelligence gathering. They maintain power through a careful balance of cooperation and competition." Elena studied the display. "What are their weaknesses?" "They fear each other almost as much as they fear humanity. The Coalition was formed specifically to suppress human development, but maintaining that alliance has required constant compromise. They have grown weak through complacency." Sarah was monitoring communications across the galaxy. "Captain, I'm detecting panicked transmissions from Coalition command centers. They're calling for emergency sessions of the High Council." "They know what the Phoenix's awakening means," Marcus said. "Ancient human technology is activating across the galaxy. They're facing their worst nightmare." Rex was deep in the Phoenix's tactical systems. "Captain, I'm seeing schematics for weapons that can destroy entire fleets. Reality warping cannons, dimensional shields, time dilution fields. This ship could take on the entire Coalition Navy." Elena felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. "Phoenix, what did my ancestors intend for this ship?" "The Phoenix was designed to be humanity's guardian in its darkest hour. Your ancestors knew that the Coalition would eventually move against them, so they built me to ensure that humanity would survive and eventually reclaim its rightful place in the galaxy." The ship's consciousness shared memories with Elena, showing her visions of the first human empire at its height. Human cities floating in space, transforming dead worlds into gardens, and pushing the boundaries of science and exploration. We were explorers, Alana said quietly. We weren't trying to conquer the galaxy. We were trying to understand it. That is why the Coalition feared you, the Phoenix replied. Your species has a unique ability to adapt and evolve. Given enough time, humans would have surpassed every other species in the galaxy. The Coalition chose to prevent that through genocide. Marcus was accessing the ship's historical databases. Captain, the Phoenix has detailed records of the war. The Coalition didn't just attack military targets. They systematically destroyed human colonies, research stations, and civilian populations. Elena felt anger building in her chest. They tried to wipe us out completely. They succeeded partially, the Phoenix said sadly. Billions of humans died. Entire bloodlines were eliminated. Your species was reduced to a small population on a single world, with their memories altered to forget their true history. Sarah suddenly looked up from her station. Captain, I'm detecting a massive fleet approaching our position. Coalition ships from multiple species, including some designs I've never seen before. The Phoenix's sensors showed the approaching force. It was enormous, easily over 100 ships, including massive dreadnoughts and planet-killer weapons. There. Not taking any chances this time, Rex observed. That's enough firepower to sterilize this entire star system. Elena looked around at her crew. They were brave people, but they were facing the combined might of 7 alien civilizations. Phoenix, asterisk,